Welcome back to another art class with Mr. Dalby. What I'm going to show you today is how to paint in the style of Burton Morris. We're going to give you some tips as well on using acrylic paint. If you're lucky enough, again like I said last time, to have a few art supplies at home, acrylic paint is a good paint to use for Burton Morris's work because you get a really solid block colour quite easily. Okay, you can go back and use your watercolours again if you want to. If you've got pencils, you can use those, whatever medium you want. Like I say, we are trying to mimic Burton Morris's style. So I've got some examples here of his work. Okay, I've printed them out in colour this time. And as you can see, he keeps these colours to the sort of primary colour. So we've got too many colours in here. Okay, maximum of about 3-4 colours in there. And if you look at the hula hoops packet that we've got here, similar sort of thing. There's a maximum of 3 colours. All right, so what we're going to do, what I'm going to start off with is we're going to start off with painting the background. And I think as my hula hoop packet is blue, and there's obviously some yellow in there with the hula hoops, and there's a little bit of red, I'm going to go and I'm going to use red for the background. Okay, now when you're using acrylic paint, what you want to avoid doing is you want to avoid using too much water, because it ruins the consistency of the paint. Okay, so I'm just going to start painting this. Obviously I will speed through it when I'm editing it. Oh, actually one final thing, I've got a bit of a hack here. If you haven't got a palette or an artist palette at home or anything like that you've painted with before, get a bit of cling film, cover the plate with the cling film. Then all you need to do, because again acrylic paint, if you get it on your clothes it will not come off. It's also very difficult to get out of anything. So put the cling film on. Once you've finished your painting, take the cling film off, put it straight in the bin, and there you go. Not the most environmentally friendly, but does save a little bit of time and space and doesn't ruin your parents' plates. When you're painting with acrylic, what you want to avoid is any sort of really bumpy parts on it. So you want to get that all nice and smooth and just spread it out. Again, it's quite thick paint, so really when you're painting with it, make sure you have enough on your brush. Now you can see here I accidentally have gone over part of the drawing that I've done already. It doesn't matter, because you can paint over the top of it with acrylic paint. Great thing, with acrylic you can paint white over dark, dark over white, it doesn't matter. Although what I will say is acrylic paint is quite expensive, so when you start off putting it on your palette, be sparing if you're not going to maybe use it all. Okay, what I'm looking at now is I'm going to look at doing the main part or the main packaging of the hula hoops packet. Now, what you'll notice is that I've got this blue. This blue came directly from, I've got quite a few different acrylics, came directly from the tube, and I think it's quite a good match to the colour on the actual packaging. I'm just going to test it. I mean, it's a little bit different. For the purposes of this, you know, I think I could make it maybe a little bit lighter. I think I'll do that actually. I think I'll put a little bit more white in there, just to lighten it up a little bit, just to try and match that colour as closely as possible. Again, Burton Morris isn't the most precise with these colours. I mean, if you're looking at the Heinz ketchup bottle, the red, you know, he's looking at block colours. He's, you know, there are elements of it where he's just trying to get it as close as possible, but there are degrees of error. So I'm just going to lighten it a little bit. Put a little bit more in actually, just a bit more white in there. I think that should do. Right, okay, so I'm just going to start painting it again. Again, I'll speed it up. Again, with this, I'm going to avoid the edges to start off with because it's a little bit wet, and I'm going through this quite quickly. But again, I might go over some of these details but I can put these details in later on, okay? Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do this slightly differently. As you can see, I've been working my way outside in, but what I'm actually going to do now is I'm actually going to look at the yellow puffed writing itself, just because it's more difficult to paint over red if I make a mistake than it is if I paint over yellow. Right, I'm going to try and start putting in some of the black outlines now, just like Burton Morris. What I'm doing though, I'm going to paint it now. Again, if you are feeling brave, you can paint it also, but if not, there's nothing wrong with using quite a wide felt tip pen. That gives you the real effect of what Burton Morris is aiming for. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to start painting with this brush. Right, as you can see, I've started to add in some more black, or the black outlines, and also these sort of spikes, which are very similar to Burton Morris's work. It's gradually getting there. I'm almost done, I think. I've just got to do a few more outlines. So if you look closely, round puffs, that kind of thing. So I'm going to keep going. You can watch. It will be speeded up, but you can always slow it down when you want to. Okay. So I think that's pretty much there. Yeah, I mean, I think I've captured the feel of Burton Morris's work. To be honest with you, in future, if we're talking about improving this, what I would think about doing is maybe instead of painting this big bit blue, I would maybe do the individual hula hoops as well and paint around them. It's taken quite a few coats to get them to stand out. I quite like these little white bits in the centre of the hula hoops. I suppose they could be red, but I mean, in theory, with Burton Morris, you can kind of play with it, you can kind of play with his style. But yeah, I think I'm quite happy with that. I think it reflects Burton Morris's style quite well. So yeah, there you go. So have fun, enjoy yourselves. Again, like I say, if you don't want to use acrylic paint, you don't have to use that. You can use whatever medium you want. Okay, have fun and goodbye.